Man, Charles, man, you gotta do something. If you're on your phone, it ain't gonna work. I can't bring you up. There you go. There you go, brother. Can you hear me? You got your audio set up, Charles? Can you hear me?
Rich, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I hear you.
Okay, yeah. The audio is working, but the camera's not working.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. I know it's you.
I can't stop the cam.
No. But,
Yeah,
well,
the
what
cam
do
is
you mean
on
you
the
can't?
phone. Anyway, I listen. I just can hear me.
What you mean you can't start the cam? You mean your thing won't let you show? You can't show the screen. You can't see the screen.
For the video, for some reason, I gotta try to set my video up so I could. You can't see me, right?
No, yeah, but make sure you turn off YouTube because you're in the studio.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't. I have a camera on my laptop.
Okay, man. Say, listen, man. You know we can follow along because I'll be reading what we're talking about, so you'll know. So you can't. But didn't I send you the slides? You got the slide. Hello, Charles. You can't hear me? Now I can't hear you, man. Charles.
Yeah.
All right. So you got the slides, man. I sent it to you on email.
Oh.
I sent it to you in the sports update.
How about now?
No. On my end, I hear you. So you can't hear me?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So I said you got the slides in the sports update. Okay, cool. All right, man.
Yeah.
What's going on? You got to turn off your YouTube if you got an echo. You're in the studio, so you don't need to have YouTube on. Hey, what's up, Ramsey?
Okay, can you hear me?
What's up, Mr. Payne?
Yeah, I can hear you, Charles. Yeah, he's having trouble again. Hey, man, what's going on, man?
Oh, same old.
Yeah.
You really all right?
Yeah, man. I'm just chilling, man. Getting ready to get started. We got a lot to go through, so once we get a couple people in the studio, we're gonna just get cooking.
Take your time.
You can hear the music in the background, right?
Yes. Pretty jazzy.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. So we're gonna, what we're gonna do is we're gonna zip through some of these stuff because I got a lot of stuff on me. And so my man Charles is having so much trouble with his I don't know, he got his PC set up. All right, man, Charles, you back, huh?
All right, okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Can you? If you can hear me, you don't have to yell. I can hear you. All right, so just follow. Yeah, so we're gonna I'm gonna give it a minute or two, and then we're gonna get rolling. I'm gonna hit the next slide, and we're gonna just go down the list. Whoever joins up can join up, man. There's so many things on the list. We'll have to just chop it up and move on, We give it another minute or two. So what's going on, Ramsey? I'm glad you could make it too. So this is all good.
But one of the things you probably should do, Rich,
Say what?
since you got a trademark, man, you got to put that TM subscript.
I know that's what they say I need to do. I was thinking about that today, but I'll get that the next stream.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Once I got the trademark, I ain't worried about it too much. And y'all gotta see the slides?
Yeah.
All right, man. Let me turn this music off.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stop it looping after this is on, then we can get rolling. Hey, welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, everybody. We're on the swivel at the sports bar. So, just by second feed, man, we're gonna roll, man. I got a whole bunch of stuff up the line, man. We can chop it up and move on. Somebody said, man, you got way too much stuff on there, you know. But what can I say, man? I had this like epiphany. There's so much stuff going on in the sports world. I guess there's never going to be a shortage of stuff to talk about. Hey, so listen, I don't know who saw the championship, the in-season tournament championship.
Yeah.
First of all, who's surprised that LeBron won and was MVP? You know, because as far as I'm concerned, here's what I'm thinking. All he thought about was winning that championship and getting the MVP, not because nobody else is going to do it, because he could be the first one to do it and add to his legacy. I think he said as much, and I'm happy the Lakers won. And actually, the Lakers not doing too bad this year. Can you guys hear me? Because you guys are kind of quiet.
Yeah. But I thought that Anthony Davis, in the championship game was actually the MVP. I thought.
Yeah, but it goes by the whole series, though, right?
Yeah, that was the question. I guess is it for the entire tournament? Or
it was for the entire tournament
championship game, and maybe they should differentiate it a little bit.
I think so. I thought it was for the entire. As far as I'm concerned, I think it was for the entire tournament.
Yeah.
So which was fine to me. He showed out, man. I watched it. I mean, some of the games were okay. So if we look at the West, the Lakers are in 6th place, so they they don't have to go into the play-in series. Now, I don't know if you guys watched the Clippers at all. And they had when they brought in James Harden, they lost like 5 or 6 games in a row. And I think they finally got back on their list. They're on their feet. They're 13-10, right? Just moving on, and they're in the 7th spot. So if the playoffs started, they would have to be in the play-in series. But I thought they were worse off than they already are. So, I think that Westbrook is coming off the bench, and I spelled his name wrong. I don't know what happened to my spell checker thing there. And then, of course, Ty Lue seemed like he got his feet back under him because their team is playing pretty well. I saw their game against, I think it was Suns. No, against the Kings, and they beat them pretty handily. So that was cool. And so anybody really watching the NBA just yet? A lot. What about you, Charles?
Yeah, I've been watching the games a lot, but I've been watching them. I still didn't tell who's going to go all the way, though. But I think the Lakers, for example, they need one more player, one more star. I don't think they have enough to carry them to the finals.
Well, we'll see. They're supposed to. Well, they're supposed to have 2. They got 2, quote unquote, Hall of Famers. I think they just need D'Angelo Russell to be more consistent.
Oh, okay.
But you're right, though. I mean, we'll see when crunch time comes. There's a long way to go, man. I thought they were further in the season, but we're only talking about 25 games, 26 games.
Wow.
So it's a long way to go. So John Morant, He returns on the 19th. And they're gonna play the Pelicans. And right now, go ahead.
Rich, just a quick comment on the Clippers. You know, I think some of it has to do with Steve Ballmer. You know, the owner.
Okay, in terms of what?
In terms of just building the mindset of a fantasy team, where here's a guy who's, you know, built successful corporations, you know, Microsoft included, but I think he's in fantasy mode, where he's just collecting these stars, these old stars, if you will, and thinking that they'll fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. But so I think a lot of it falls on his shoulders for just kind of being in that mindset of fantasy team.
You know, I don't disagree. I thought about that, but he's got that deep pockets, those deep pockets, and he don't care.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, whatever penalties he has to pay because of the salaries, I think he just writes that stuff off. You know, that's what I'm thinking about. But you can see him when he's at the game, you look like a big kid, man.
He does.
Hey, you know what? But I can dig it. By the way, Microsoft when they took over Chat GPT and brought back my man, boy, I think they're willing to blow. They're getting ready to blow up again.
Yeah.
That's just a side note. Anyway, John Morant, you know, so he's back. I have all these misspellings here. I thought I went over this damn thing. Told me it was okay. But anyhow, the Pelicans are 6-16. They're 11 games out of first place, and they're 6 games out of the 10th spot for the play-in game. Now, there's plenty of time left in the season for them to come back, but him being out for 25 games, you see how it hurt them. I hear an echo, so one of you guys, either you have something on or whatever. But anyhow, it's cool. Any questions on Ja? I mean, I think he comes back on the 19th, which is, I guess, sometime next week. And we'll see where it goes. See if they can catch up. I mean, there's plenty of time. You know, we could just skip by that. Hey, what about Draymond Green, man? What are you going to do with it? He got kicked out of the game again. Was it last night or the night before?
Yeah, last night.
Did y'all see the incident?
Yeah.
I mean, was it? Go ahead.
No, it was the gentleman was guarding, just normal guarding, like in the high post, and Draymond just turned around and slapped the dude.
Yeah.
You know, they got a little physical. You know, nothing outside of the normal bounds of, you know, post basketball, but just turned around and popped it. And I think with Draymond, a lot of it has to do with maybe his Michigan upbringing, and nothing against anybody from Michigan, but just the whole bad boy mentality, right? You know, he watched Rodman and those guys and Lane Beer, and maybe that's part of the psyche. I don't know.
Yeah, but it seems like, man, you know, it just seems like he take it too far, man. It was unnecessary. That flagrant 2 was well deserved. Yeah. You know, so I don't know if he might face a suspension again or not, but probably not. But he could. The next thing, okay, what do you think about the constant, you know, barrage of Zion Williamson, you know, and his weight? I mean, if he was a woman, wouldn't they be talking about fat shaming?
Yeah, for certain.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, what's going on, Ronnie? Let me see. Hey,
how's it going? I'm all good. Right? How are you?
All right, we got a couple of fellas up here, you know, and we're on Zion Williamson, man. Welcome to On the Swivel at the Sports Bar, brother.
All right.
Yeah. So the question on the floor now is: do you think that this constant barraging of Zion Williams' weight is it overboard? I mean, he's never going to be slim. I don't care what he does. He's going to have some kind of weight where he's going to always be a little chunky. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it didn't stop Charles Barkley.
No, it didn't. I think the slimmest I seen him is I think when he went over to was it Phoenix or no, was it San? When he changed teams, he did lose some weight from Philly to where he went. What was it? Phoenix? Was it
Phoenix? He went to Phoenix. He played with Kevin Johnson.
Yeah.
And then he
And
went
so
to
that
Houston
was
after
the
that.
thinnest I've ever seen him.
Yeah, he went to Houston after that. That's where he tore up his knee or something.
Yeah, but I mean, this thing, his Zion's problem is not, well, his weight is a problem, but his choice in women is even worse. I think that's what's gonna really break him. That's gonna break him. Just like it is breaking so many other men.
He's getting paid to play basketball, so if the weight is slowing him down or causing him to be injured so much, he needs to try to fix that.
No, I agree. Let's see, the Pelicans are 10. So if the playoffs were to start, they would be in the play-in series. And I think he's taken and over 500, at 13 and 11. But I think the fact that they got trounced by the Lakers, just gave the pundits a little bit more to talk about because LeBron showed out and he's 40 years old, and my man's huffing and puffing and going down. So they say he eats the whole buffet table, man. When it's time to eat, he don't hold back. He don't care who's watching. Oh, that's funny.
But to me, it's hard to fathom how any NBA player can really be out of shape, regardless of what you eat, because you're running 5-6 miles a game, playing every other night. So I don't know what the problem is with Zion or any other player like that, but just running that amount of miles, that distance, every other night, that would automatically keep you in shape, you would think.
Well, it depends on your appetite and your diet, I would say.
Yeah.
We got to remember these are young kids. I'm 68 years old, so these are young kids, as far as I'm concerned. And when you're young, your metabolism is high. I mean, as a 23, 24-year-old, I couldn't gain weight. I used to eat a pint of ice cream at least twice a week. But after I got past 30, that became a different issue. It wasn't as hard. So I agree with you on the one hand. If you're running up and down the court regularly, it should be harder to gain weight. But everybody's metabolism is different.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. And listen, while you guys are in here, if y'all haven't hit that like button, you can do me a favor. That's free. And whoever's not subscribed, it'd be nice to get a subscription. Subscribe to the channel. So when you get a chance to do that, I'd appreciate it.
Where's that at, Rich? I'm looking for
it. Yeah, I mean, you're in the studio, so you would have to go to the actual website.
Okay, no problem.
But if you do that, you got to make sure the sound is off because we'll get an echo.
All right, I'll do it later.
Yeah. I appreciate it. You could be after the stream too. The next thing is my man Charles. I haven't heard you. If you're still there, he sent me this list of the top 25 by tiers. Let's see if you guys agree with this list. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, I totally disagree.
Tell them where you disagree.
Up there. The Greek should be in tier 1. LeBron shouldn't be in tier 3. I think he's in tier 2, and KD also. So I don't know. Stephen Curry still 4. Come on, he should be all the way down 4. The greatest shooter of the history of the game. They got him in tier 4. Come on. Yeah, that's my opinion.
I agree with everything. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I agree too. I agree with the opinion just offered.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What about you, Ramsey? You got any changes?
Yeah, certainly, Curry. It kind of takes away the credibility from this tiering here, with Curry being in 4. But yeah, KD should be no worse than 2, I would say.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
I'm looking for
Jamal Murray.
He's not the other can't even think of his name for Boston. The other the sidekick.
Oh yeah, he's here too. You talking about
Brown?
No,
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. He's not even on the list. No.
Yeah. See, I think Brown would certainly be a 3 or 4.
He's playing well. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They got Brooks as 5.
Who made this list?
Hey man, it's just a random list off of the internet. You know.
Yeah, it's random, all right.
You know, Giannis, there's no way Giannis should be in 10-1, man, right now. You know, so I mean, it's interesting. I mean, these are like discussion pieces, man. I think sometimes people just put stuff up there so people could talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I found this, man, courtesy of Charles. He sent it to me.
No,
Yeah,
I like the
I got it from
concept.
Yahoo Sports. It was a Yahoo Sports website.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to say anything else about this. It's not accurate, and most of us don't agree.
That is true. That is true. All right, so hey, listen. So we switched to the NFL, man. Okay, just
okay. I lost audio, video.
No, I still see you. I switched the page. I think we're still sharing. Did you lose? You can't see it. Hello?
I can still see everything.
Yeah, you might have lost something, Rodney, if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Rodney? No, I don't think you hear me. You might have to go out and come back in. Yeah, I don't think he hears.
Yeah.
All right. So, what
Rich,
about? Yeah.
Before we start the NFL, just a quick comment about Bill Belichick not coming back.
Yeah.
You know, when next year. I thought that was interesting.
Well, he's not coming back, or is he coming back?
He's not.
Okay. You know what? I missed that. Hey, Rodney, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Rodney? Yeah, I don't think he's frozen.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get him in the chat. Hold on for a second, guys. I don't think he could hear me. No, I don't know. Hopefully he'll pick that up. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You got it? You're back.
I went out and came back in. I lost audio.
Yeah, I just sent you a message. Drop out and come back in.
Yeah, I did.
You're on the same page. Yeah, there you go. So anyway, hey, listen, we're going to the NFL. I mean, we're going to NFL, and Belichick left. I didn't see that report. So that's good for him. I think he did the right thing.
Oh, really? He quit?
Yeah, that's what.
No. He's leaving after the season. He's not coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After the season. Good. I think good for him, man. He's up there anyway, man. You know, go ahead and relax, man. Go to go hang out.
he should have left. He should have left with Brady.
Yeah. He would have been out on top.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened to the Eagles, man? What's going on with those guys?
Hey, I'm sorry, Rich. One other quick thing on Belichick, since it came up. I would bet that he ends up with the Los Angeles Chargers. So that's what I'm thinking.
Why?
Because I think what's going to happen is was the coach there, Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of opportunities. He lost that playoff game last year after being up by 47 points or whatever it was, lost that playoff game. And I think that you might see Belichick in Los Angeles with the Chargers. So that's just my take on it.
Looking for warmer weather.
Yeah, exactly. And, he's got a decent quarterback there with the Chargers. So I think he might end up there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If I was him, I'd just hang it up. But these guys, man, they get it in their blood, man. They can't leave.
Yeah.
So that's one of those kind of things. What you gonna say? But anybody Eagles fan? Because they got trounced by two of the top teams in the NFC. I was surprised that they got beat so handily by San Francisco and then Dallas.
Well, sometimes, I mean, nobody ever wants to lose, but sometimes you need that trouncing to get your act back together. You start believing your own hype. What were they? 9-2, 10-2, and then right? What are they now?
Yeah.
10-4, something like that.
Something like that, right? So what can you say? That's just the way it is.
San Francisco went through a similar thing early in the year when they lost with 3 straight. And,
okay.
The questions were starting to come out about the 49ers. And they lost 3 straight, and then, look at them now. So yeah, I think every team pretty much goes through it. You're going to lose a couple straight that people don't expect you to lose or.
Okay.
So
that's
yeah.
true.
Oh.
That is true. Let me just drop the link here. All right, man. So what we got next? Okay, listen. What do you think the benefits are of the going bye week? I think sometimes it hurts certain teams. You know what I'm saying? Hello, gentlemen.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Ramsey, you still there too?
Yeah.
What about the bye week, man? I think the Ravens, man. I don't think the bye week will help them. You know what I'm saying?
I think it generally helps every team, and of course, depending on.
Why do you think that?
Certainly depending on when it falls, but late in the season like
No,
this.
oh, you know what? I said the wrong thing. Not the bye week, but the first round bye for the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said that the wrong way.
That makes a difference.
Not the bye week, but the first round bye. I think sometimes some team lose momentum.
So if you were coaching a team, you would prefer not to have a bye?
Yeah, I would, especially if we're on a roll.
So you would prefer not to have a bye.
Yeah, I would rather play through. Yeah.
Well, that's where injuries happen. The more games you play, the more chance for injury.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
but still, I'd rather. So it's a trade-off, right? It's a trade-off. I mean, the whole football season, you always dodging a bullet. But all I'm just trying to say is, I've seen like a team like the Ravens. I don't think they want to have a bye week. Just keep playing, especially if you're hot.
Well, sometimes injured players or people recovering from injuries benefit from not having to play that week. So
I hear you. I agree with that.
On the one hand, you got a better chance for injury the more games you play, and your injured players don't get a chance to recover. So if I'm a coach, and I'm not, I would prefer a bye week.
Hey, listen, I tell you what, man, I would like to. If we're hot, I don't want no breaks. It's how you, and you're right. You're dodging a bullet. It's all a trade off. And certainly, there's been championships won without people getting that first game off.
Has anybody on this conference been a football player in high school or college or Pop Warner? I just imagine that the further into high school, college you go, those injuries got to be pretty serious, even if you're not injured, but just soreness.
No, I agree with what you're saying.
I'm just wondering about recovery time.
Yeah, but I guess you train to play a whole season. But it's not really what you're saying is wrong, right or wrong, because absolutely a coach will probably all agree with you.
I mean, in basketball as well, they have people that at least at one point they would skip the first round; they didn't have to play. So,
yeah,
and players and coaches sometimes look forward to that, but
And when you look at what it really means in the NFL and in the playoffs, it means you're playing 3 games to get to the Super Bowl or 2. That's what it really means. So if you had that bye week, you only have to play 2 games, to get to the Super Bowl.
To get to
win
the
2
Super
games.
Bowl. Okay, yeah. It's
Yeah.
a total of 3. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would think that every coach would want to have that bye such that you only play 2 games.
Everybody except Coach Richard. You're the guy of the podcast. You know,
Hey, that's
Oh,
why you're
man.
different, Rich. That's why you're different.
Dude, that's funny, man. I'm the only one who don't want the damn thing. Oh man. So yeah, you're right. Okay, Ronnie dropped out again. I guess he'll pop back in.
For me,
All right,
the main thing is less risk for injuries. So I think that's important to have that one less game.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree. You know, this really, I mean, I can't argue against that. But you know, I just feel that some guys just need to just play. But let's go ahead and move on to the
And
next
Rich, just by the way, I got kicked out 3 times. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I've had to log back in 3 times.
Yeah, I don't know it's sometimes just a setup. You know, you're the IT guy. There's nothing I'm doing on my end here, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, am I the only one getting kicked out or no?
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
All right, maybe I can be on a different network in my house. No
But
problem.
yeah, but as long as you can pop back in, man, you know, it's no big deal. You know?
All right, so what do you got, Rich?
Say what? Hello? Oh yeah, he chopped down. No, he might be switching networks, so which is cool. All right, man. Where's my thing going? Hello, guys. You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We're here.
All right. Good. Good. So the next thing on the list, if I can see it, is what's the next thing on the list? Can y'all see? Y'all still see this thing up here?
Yeah, you got MVP this week.
Yeah. So yeah, who do you think? Any new front runners? Because I think I mean it kind of changed. They mentioned another name, Purdy. Is he playing all that well that he should be MVP over Dak?
His numbers are pretty good, but I would say Dak is certainly the front runner in the NFC. You know, Purdy's winning, and I guess just the fact that Purdy is one of these love stories and a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that adds to the emotion of listing him in the MVP race.
All right. So what about McCaffrey?
Yeah, certainly McCaffrey.
Right. So
So they got 2 players on that team.
You know, to tell you the truth, man, you know, in the AFC, is the MVP that have one for both conferences? Or is it one for the whole NFL?
One for the NFL.
One for the NFL, okay. Because, you know, my man, there's a couple of guys not doing too bad. Even quarterback over the Ravens is having a decent year. But maybe not MVP. What's the guy's name? Tua, they say but it's really the receiver who's unbelievable. He's having a great year. He might get 2,000 yards. Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he might get 2,000 yards. We'll see if he does that. All right, so let's keep moving on. So there's a few things here. Dallas, are they for real? And has Dak finally arrived?
I think they're for real. And I think
they look good, man.
To do for Dak, I think a lot of it has to do with Mike McCarthy. You know, he's calling the plays now. You know, he's got a lot of credibility in that. You know, he coached Aaron Rodgers, won a Super Bowl, so people are quicker to buy into him. So I think he's finally arrived.
All right. What about you, Charles? What do you think? I don't know if you can hear me.
Well, I don't know with Dallas. They've blown so many games in the past that I've lost trust in them. And during the big games, they find ways to choke. So I don't know. Let's go to the playoffs.
All right. So then you have okay, the fact that this guy Von Miller is still playing. Do you think your team Ramsey is is being self-serving, or are they righteous to give him due process?
Well, the last thing I saw was that the
What's up,
Bills
Trey?
were basically following the lead of the league office. So,
Okay.
If the league office said that they wanted to suspend him, of course they would, comply and follow through with it. But until the league office steps up and says that, he needs to sit down, the team isn't going to do it.
Yeah, I hear you, but that's cool. I mean, hey, so we're welcoming Trey Ferg to the podcast here. Yeah, welcome to On the Swivel at the Sports Bar. Trey, what's going on,
What's
man?
up, brother? How you doing, man? What's up, fellas? How you doing, man?
All right.
This is my real life, man. I love sports. I love, playing and coaching.
Yeah,
35 years.
You said you football coach for that long?
Played and coached over, 35 years. I coached since '93.
Oh, there you go.
High school, little league, JUCO. I heard. I'm just going to comment on two of the stories. McCaffrey, he's the NFL golden boy. They had to get him out of Carolina because he was getting broke up, so they had to put him in a protective mode. And he's the last highest paid running back in NFL going forward. There won't be no more contracts like him. So they got him taken care of. Everybody else is just going to get lost in the weeds. I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan. Don't let my friends hear me say this, but my boy, that went to my alma mater. What's up, Mississippi State Bulldogs?
Okay.
I think as long as they stay healthy, that Dallas needs the complete team effort to win. Anybody get hurt, that's going to break everything up with Dallas. Everybody needs to stay healthy. Other than that, it's still yet to be seen what the playoff picture going to look like outside of that protected environment. It's going to be hard to go to a cold environment for the playoffs for Dallas. So we'll see.
All right. Hey, so you know a little bit about the Von Miller situation? Yeah. So what do you think about him in the past, right? See, first of all, I have a mixed bag, right? Based on just the circumstances that we hear, and the lady coming on later on, I think we talked about this before, trying to say, he didn't do anything. But if you listen to the phone call that she did when she called 911, something went down. Let's just put it that way, And so she's trying to retract that, maybe so he can continue to get the bag so she can leave and get a bigger piece of the bag. But right now, I think that dichotomy is what's keeping them in the thing. Because usually, as soon as there's an allegation, they're kicking people out. But I guess the people up in Buffalo say, "Hey, man, until he gets convicted, we're playing his ass." I don't blame him. So anyway, but I hear you. College football. Go ahead.
They could make a case to sit him because he's not been playing that well anyway. So you could make a case to just put him on the inactive list and bring him back in a couple of games if the NFL has not suspended it, and that would kind of show some type of support to the Me Too.
Now the hell with supporting the Me Too ladies, man. I think unless it's really egregious that you can show that the ladies really passed out in the hospital, or there's no, I think you should have due process before they start punishing you. I just think that we need to get back to that. Unless you're some kind of, there's certain circumstances where, you have to put somebody out of the public eye. But I'm not so sure this is one of them. And they used to, women just coming up with stuff, man, starts hurting people. So she could thank all the women who lie about this stuff that he's still playing. So that's all up there. Look what's happening to my man from the brother from the Jonathan Majors. Right, he's going through it, man. He's going. He might be. I don't know if he's. I mean, it sounds like his text. They showed this text message. I don't want to get too far off of it, but that's still. And that's a past. And they're using that against him now, right? But nobody can use that woman's past against him. So I mean, the whole law system is just broken, man.
That's it. Pertains to us. You're right.
Well, when you.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's funny to me with all of these allegations, and maybe y'all know some cases that I haven't heard about. It's funny how most of the women are light skinned, almost white skinned with these allegations, and it's brothers who have a karma coated complexion that always seem to. I think a lot of brothers make the bad decision. They go for that light skin look. For the most part, they're just going for aesthetics, not really understanding the character and the history of these women. A lot of them make a lot of mistakes.
No, absolutely no doubt. But that's a man problem. I don't know about the color. That's just a man problem. Man with money problem, man. You get your dream girl, you don't give her personality, whatever kind of woman, she look good on your arm. And you paying for play, and that's it. And so she's playing chess and you're playing checkers. Anyway, so let's move on. Hey, college football, see. Hey man, anybody understand why Jason Whitlock has such a boner for Deion Sanders? I mean, I don't know if it's just me or if anybody else notices that.
I mean, I can't say I've noticed it. So what?
All right, so I mean, he essentially thinks Deion Sanders is the Antichrist. So he all. I mean, I watch Jason a lot, right? Not a lot, but enough. And so he's into a lot of God stuff, and he just thinks that Deion Sanders' hubris has him connected to like demonic spirits and shit, almost. And it's like and maybe he gets a lot of clicks and views by smashing Deion because he's a YouTuber. And so the more he talks about Deion. So I got like a clip I want to show y'all. They made a nice little rap about Deion Sanders, and I think it's pretty funny. So I'm gonna stop sharing this for a second, and we'll come back, and I'm gonna hit that clip. All right, just bear with me. All right, gentlemen. It's gonna take a second. All right.
If you see me, then you know it's about a bug. Not about my players, I don't give up. I'm the big dog, should do my little pug. Diamonds on his wrist, and he hold it up. When I holler Pee-wee, that mean I suck. Manipulate my players, then I get them stuck. Take the cornerback for a Colorado Buffs.
Do you believe that?
We ran out of love. I'm 56, acting like I'm 30. Worship me like an idol, cause I'm worthy. Drop rose for a snow hose, wasn't pretty. Overplaying Travis Hunter, did him dirty. Should do a crying daddy, why they hurt me? Setting sack record sight, getting blurry. Players decommitting, coaches starting scurry. Run into the transfer portal in a hurry. Your favorite black coach, I do no wrong. Get them wins up, or I won't be here for long. Call them ghetto rappers to get us in the zone.
Who ready?
I'm ready. Now play my theme song. If you see me, then you know it's about a bug. Not about my play.
Let's not share that.
Yeah, that's good. I had not seen that.
That's pretty funny, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey man, so this chick is always with Whitlock, so she's pretty funny, So that little parody, man, I think that's funny, man. Well, they can't stand Deion Sanders, man. But anyway, I thought it was pretty good, man. So even if I'm the only one. All right, so is any other thing why she got him? I don't know why, but I think it's clicks and views. You talk about Deion, you bring some people to your site. The bowl games, the championship. I got a bunch. I don't watch the bowl games. Who watches a lot of bowl games? You watch a lot. I mean, so I got a list. The list is so long that the print is too small for my eyes to see on one page. I should have. There's like 35, 40, bowl games. at least 30. You know, so but I'm only focusing on the championship one. We could chop it up for some other ones you want to see. But okay, so number 1 and 4 is Michigan and Alabama. Who you got, Trey?
I'm gonna take Alabama, even though I'm not a Bama fan, but I'm gonna take Alabama just because they've proven over the course of the season that they still can be a top dog. And in bowl games, they seem to always be in the game. I never really see them get blown out, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that one. How about you, Charles?
Yeah, I don't follow college football, unfortunately. So
That's
not
all
much
right.
to say about that. Yeah.
That's cool. How about you, Ramsey? Go ahead, man.
So I'm gonna go with Alabama and Saban. I think one of the secondary stories in this one is, of course, with Michigan and Harbaugh being suspended for however many games he was suspended for. Then he comes back and he's, number one. So his assistant coaches deserve a lot of credit for getting him there, because I forget how many games he was out, but it was at least 4, maybe 6 games.
Right.
So I think that's going to be kind of the secondary story with this game. Does Harbaugh really deserve it? Should he even be in the position he's in right now?
Well, how many games was he suspended for?
I want to say at least 4.
Okay, Trey said 3.
3? Okay.
So they won those games, I assume, right? They won those games.
He was out a game also, so in one game, I think,
Okay.
but he did get suspended 3 in a row. I think so.
Well, okay, so obviously you're right, Ramsey. I mean, but that's what you have a support crew for, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they're going to give him credit, man. He put that team together.
He did. He put the staff together, the team together, but it also kind of says, I don't know what they're paying to do, but I know they were paying him a lot of money. He took a pay cut. But
you don't think Harbaugh was on the phone?
Is he really worthy of that type of a paycheck? If your assistant coaches can get you to the number 1 position.
Yeah, but that's not.
That's part of coaching. That's the coaching carousel. Your assistant coaches make or break you as a team on any level, high school, little, NFL. If you have good assistant coaches, they understand the mission. They can make or break your team because they're going to spend more time. And some coaches may not know how to motivate a player in those small circles. That's how players get blackballed on the sideline because they got to report to the head coach. And he's going to, if he has a good style, I can see that.
Yeah.
No, I believe you, because, a lot of the head coaches from these major teams that have, 90, 95 players, they don't even know the 93rd player's name on the team. It's the assistant coaches, the position coaches that those guys and get to know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have somebody just drop out? Okay. I think we still have everybody here. All right. So listen, so we can move on. How about the next bowl game? Who you got, Trey? Washington, Texas.
Oh man, I'm not. I don't follow Washington, but I think Washington with their quarterback, if he has a good game, then Washington got a good chance. Texas, it's hard to say. But I think if Texas runs the ball, they have a chance. If Washington's passing game is together, I think Washington. But I really don't have a favorite.
I hear you. Anybody else got any? And so I know where you're coming from, Charles. Anything for you, Ram? I think I also agree with Alabama. I think an Alabama Texas game will be a good championship. I think any of the games. I haven't been following that close. I've seen a couple of games. I'm not a big college football game, but I do look at the championship series. But I really can't get into any of these other bowl games at all. I mean, I don't know, Trey. Which ones you pointing to? We don't have to spend that much time on them, but maybe USC and Louisville.
Hey now, hold on now. Let me make something clear. USC is my hometown team, so I would like to see Louisville win. I think they have a better chance now that the quarterback is not playing. He's going to concentrate on the draft. So I think Louisville by 3. I really give them the edge without their quarterback.
Oh, so the quarterback is he's sitting out.
Nah. Yeah, he's
I
sitting
mean,
out.
the USC. Now he's supposed to go number 1, right?
Well, projected, but I think you never know. So
Now,
I think
he's a brother, right? He's a brother, right? He's a light-skinned brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but didn't he tail off though at the end of the towards the end of the season? His stats and shit. USC started.
His numbers was there, they just wasn't winning. Yeah, his numbers was there, they just wasn't winning. He had good numbers.
Yeah,
he just wasn't winning. They didn't win enough.
He won the Heisman last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't see. This is me, man. Just like what my man Rodney was saying, these guys are sitting out. They're acting like pros while they're still in there. You know what he said? I can't even take a chance of getting hurt and lose that bag. I'm sitting out, man. Forget it, man. From the NILs, and I should have put that on the list. That money you get from endorsements and stuff. Now these guys can't even jeopardize, falling down in the draft, because getting that number 1 pick still means a big, big deal in terms of guaranteed money early on. So hey, it's big business. So it's about time the brothers could, be able to partake in all that money that's out there. All right, so yeah, we kind of hit the college thing. It's really those championship games. Of course, the AT&T I think is sponsoring the championship on the 8th, and I don't know. We'll see how that is. Those are the 3 games I'm pretty much guaranteed if I'm around to look at. So the other ones I don't know. All right, so we got miscellaneous coming up. Now I don't know if any of you guys are boxing fans, but Devin Haney just beat this guy Regis Prograis, and that was the biggest fight, and it was not a huge fight, but it was pay-per-view, and of course I never pay for those. It's got to be huge for me to pay. But Devin looks good. I think he's going to go up to welterweight and try to clean up the system. He don't want no part of Crawford. I think Crawford's moving up, but I think he might fight at 140. Not 147, but 140. And so Ryan Garcia, who just tried to steal a shoulder roll, is supposed to trying to get a fight with him next year. That might be interesting because I like Ryan Garcia, but I'm not so sure if he can take any kind of punishment. But he's a pretty good boxer. I don't know if anybody watched. The biggest thing with boxing is the best fighters don't fight each other often enough. That's my problem with those guys. What about anybody? Trey, you watch boxing at all? Okay. I don't know if you heard me. Hey, Charles? Yeah, I know you ain't watching no damn.
Nah, I got nothing on that.
Okay, yeah, okay. Trey went out for a second. Ramsey, you watch boxing at all?
I used to, man, but I couldn't tell you who's on top these days. But I will say to you, a couple weeks ago, I watched the movie Big George Foreman.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I think so. I saw it. I mean, I had a couple. Yeah, I saw that.
It's very good. It's very good. So for those of you who have not seen it, because it talked about all his opponents, Ali and Frazier and a few others. So it went through the whole lineage of him boxing and growing up in Texas. So excellent movie. Highly recommend it.
When did you see it on? It was streamed on Netflix?
Netflix or Prime, one of the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I already paid for Netflix. Is it free on Prime or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have
I think I saw it already, but I mean, there's been several different George Foreman movies. So
yeah. This
actually, I know what you're talking about. I did see this one. I did see
Big George Foreman is the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Big George. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess they'll go into when he got to the grill, the George Foreman grill, where he made all his big money.
Yeah, they talked about that as well. Mm-hmm.
I got one. Who doesn't have a George Foreman grill? I still got one. I'm telling you, I'm on his latest rendition of the daggone thing, man. So,
and it even talked about when he was boxing, then he decided to preach, become a minister, and people thought he was joking, and then he had to go back to boxing because he lost all his money.
So
it was a good story. Good story.
Yeah, it was a good stuff, man. You know, these guys, that's a side note for all these guys, man. They trust so many shysters with their money.
Yep.
You know, it's just incredible, man. Family members, your family member's house is falling down. And what the hell you think he knows what to do with your cash?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on.
And the guy that was managing his cash was a guy he met in the Job Corps.
Right.
When
right.
he basically got kicked out of high school. He meets a guy in the Job Corps. And he could talk fast, so he made him his financial expert.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I said,
it's
man,
a funny
come
story.
on. I knew where that was going as soon as he did it.
Yeah.
All right. So, anybody hear this female boxer named Clarissa Shields?
Yeah.
And essentially, she's one of the. Too bad that she came so far after Layla Ali. That would have been something I would have wanted to see as a fight. But she's around. She's going around talking about that she could beat men now. So she calls out, she fights at like 154. So she's calling out Keith Thurman. And if anybody knows Keith Thurman, he's a champion. He has one loss and he's a champion, right? He's got all kinds of knockouts and she thinks she could beat him, you know? And there's no upside in this for him at all. And I would be, and you know, I did actually do a video on that. And nobody could even make an ad out of it because I said he should knock her the F out, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm surprised I didn't get a YouTube strike. You know, so that video didn't go nowhere. But I do want us to have some fun because she was sparring. She had a sparring session with a no-name dude. And I want to show you, gentlemen, what happened to her. So wait a second. Let me get that up here. Where's it at? All righty. Oh, wait a minute. Can y'all, oops, let me do this right. Did I share it? No, I didn't share it yet. I gotta share it or else it ain't gonna work. All right, there you go. Can y'all see it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I will play it a couple of times. So I'm gonna blow it up. I can blow it up. Ooh, she gets caught big time.
Oh.
Get the guy in the background. Oh. Oh, you know what? You know, this guy is a no-name. And she thinks she's gonna get in there against a championship fight, a championship caliber man. And he said, I'll fight you with big gloves, with a hand behind my back. And she's still calling him out. She said, yeah, you do that, you're gonna get knocked out. So I don't know, you know, whether she's just completely delusional or, you know, just looking for some kind of payday, but it's a fight that can't be made. It can't be made. Not if he. Can you imagine Keith Thurman going in there and beating the living crap out of her? What's his upside?
None. Zero.
And suppose she gets him and knocks his ass. He has no upside in this thing. So he says, let's do an exhibition. I'll tie one hand behind my back and put on real extra big gloves. I said, well, nobody wants to see that. If you ain't going in to knock her out, who wants to see that? So I don't think this. Well, first of all, I'm gonna shut up after this. I don't think anybody will sanction this fight, and if it ain't gonna be a real fight, I don't want to see. Go ahead.
Listen, I totally agree with you, man. This is all just buffoonery behavior. She's in the top of her field. She needs to, you know, and it's funny how when people start talking about how great they are in any capacity, the fall comes soon after. Instead of being humble while you in the process, wait till you old and retired, then you can talk about how you was knocking everybody out. But first, somehow we find a way to talk about how great we are and we still going up the battles. You never do that. That's always a defeat coming. It's just buffoonery. He shouldn't even box her. Don't get in the ring. Don't waste his time because it won't end well. So I appreciate you, brother. I got to step off, man. Appreciate
right,
y'all,
man.
man.
Thanks for coming through, bro.
No problem, man.
For sure. All right, man. We'll talk. Anybody else? Ramsey?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think it's a no-win situation for Thurman, no doubt about it. And yeah, I think for her it is an attempt to get some notoriety, some cash. But yeah, it's a no-win situation for him. It's really no win for her as well because she's not going to defeat him. I don't know.
Like we said, it's no win. Can you imagine him pummeling her ass? What will happen to him in public opinion? Even though he'd be making a whole bunch of men happy that she got what she deserved, but man, he would never be able to live that down. What about you, Charles? What do you think?
I don't think it's. I don't know. I just don't think it would be a good fight. Men versus women.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be a good fight at all. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, so I agree with you there. All right, so let's move on. So we don't have to.
Hey, but one other point on that though, when you look back to was it early '70s, Bobby Riggs versus what's her name, the tennis player
Billie Jean King. That's a completely different thing.
Because I remember watching that on a little black and white TV, right? And she ended up defeating her. Now, granted, boxing and tennis, there's no contact, there's no physicality, all that stuff. But she actually ended up legitimately defeating him. Now,
he was 95 years old, and he was talking crap. So she didn't really initiate this. He did.
Yeah.
But she did beat him. I don't know if she was still in her top prime, but I know he was way past his prime.
Yeah, I think she was pretty much at her peak because that was 50 years ago.
Yeah, man, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Man, she beat. I saw that too. I mean, it was a legitimate win.
Yeah, it was.
But he was never a power tennis player.
Yeah.
So he was talking crap in his 50s. He said, "Hey, man, get your butt out here. Let's see." And she beat him fair and square. That was, but you know what? Even though we know tennis players, tennis is the one sport where the women earn their money just as well as the men do because they get a lot of views. Like the advertisers make as much money off of female tennis as everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So they're justified in getting paid the same. They really are. Because I watch female tennis more than I watch male tennis. I don't see these hard legs grunting and shit for 3, 4, 5 hours, man. That's a long time to sit down here and watch those guys trying to get a point. Some of those matches are good, but I generally watch female tennis, especially when the Williams sisters were playing. I was glued, and some of their rivals.
Oh yeah.
Cloister, a couple other ladies that were pretty good that gave Serena a run, and then what Serena just absolutely just stripped Maria Sharapova to pieces. She always beat her like she had something personal against her. So those were always fun to watch. So anyway, so tennis is another one. You kind of quiet there, my man, Vic. Okay, we're on the referee calls. So thanks for giving me this one, Ramsey. I forgot about the KC. I forgot it was offsides, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? I don't even see where they covered that, but he might as well have been in the goddamn, defense.
Yeah, and I think with KC, what they're saying is he's probably been offsides or somebody's been offsides like that.
The whole game.
20 times, the whole game. All season, right? And you're going to call it in the last minute of the game, and then coincidentally, it's the winning score.
Yeah, but you know what, man? They threw the flag before the play went on. They didn't throw it afterwards.
They did.
So they had no idea the guy was going to score a touchdown.
Right. But it becomes a big deal because you scored a touchdown on that play. Had it just been a regular incompletion or a 2-yard completion, we wouldn't be talking about it.
We would not.
And they threw that flag. So
that was a good play too, man.
It was.
That was that was one of the best backward laterals I've ever seen.
Ever. So,
I said,
but
man,
you'll never see it again.
you're right about that. And
Yeah.
my man had a clear path. There was no controversy that it was a backwards lateral, nothing.
Mhm.
Yep. So, hey, man, what can you see? Even on what with Tennessee years and years ago, that was still questionable as to whether that was a backwards lateral. I don't know. Remember when McNair was playing?
Yeah. Yep. That was against
That was
the
against
Bills.
Buffalo, wasn't
That's right.
it? That was against Buffalo, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still questionable whether that was a backwards lateral, man. Big time. They must have watched that damn thing 100 times.
They did. And I can remember hoping that the league office would call in and say it was a forward lateral, you know.
No, never happened. Not after the game, we'll never reverse a call like that.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, man. So, yeah, I think there was a basketball call at some point. I forgot what it was, but where people were pissed. It was LeBron, and I think in one of the playing in the in-season tournament, there was a thing that gave the Lakers an edge. Or so they might have still won
he
the game.
called a timeout. That was one of I think Brown called a timeout when
Yes.
Reeves, he lost control of the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
I heard it was a close call though. It was a close. I heard he said I control because part of the ball was in his leg. Blah blah blah. So I don't know, but
yeah. So they gave him a timeout.
They gave him a timeout. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. So we run. I got a couple more. So we just O'Shea Otani. So he signs a 10-year, $700 million Major League Baseball contract. And what he did was he deferred $680 million of it, and he's only taking $2 million for the first 10 years, a year, $2 million a year. And so he defers, interest-free, I think, the 680. So where they deferred payments will start in 2034 all the way up until 2043. Now, I would imagine that money still has to come whether he's still alive or not, to somebody. But it's a genius move because he makes so much money in endorsements, right? And stuff like that. He makes around $50 million a year in endorsements. So this way, the $2 million allow the team to put in other players around him while he's in his prime. So it's an ingenious contract.
Yeah.
So even after the next 10 years, he's a young man. So if you're looking at 34 to 43, we're talking about maybe his baseball days are over and he's getting $68 million a year just walking around money.
Yeah, I see him becoming a billionaire, but he's still playing.
He might be. He might be able to get there. And he's gonna. And he's a rare guy who could play both ways. Right, he plays the field. He hits and he pitches.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know I wonder why more players don't do that. And he's a throwback to Babe Ruth.
So more players don't go both ways. You're talking about?
Yeah. Because
you never see a pitcher who can hit. You don't.
Not like him.
Yeah.
At one point he was like up there in home runs and RBIs as a regular player.
I think he hit like 40 home runs. No, last year. Didn't he have 40 home runs?
Yeah,
close to
the guy is a great baseball player. A great baseball player. Now, I'm not a big baseball guy, but he's a great baseball player. So anything else on this one, gentlemen?
I can say you're not going to see a contract that is for at least another 10 years. You're not going to see a contract like that in baseball.
Well,
I think the closest one after before that was like 400 and something million. That was like what this guy named Trout. I forgot his full name.
I know what you're talking about.
That was like 5-6 years ago.
John Trout.
Yeah, it was in the 400s.
And he didn't live up to that contract either.
I don't think he did. Yep.
No, he didn't. He did not live up to that contract. So that just tells you how much money it is. I don't even watch baseball, but they're still generating billions of dollars.
Yeah, and I don't follow the structure, the financial structure of baseball, So do they have a salary cap like the NFL
No,
and the NBA? So that's
no.
really the difference, right? Where you can, because like the Yankees used to do it all the time, right? They would bring in all these stars, pay them whatever they needed to pay them, and generally would pay off for them.
But here's the deal, though. I mean, you still have to be generating that kind of revenue as a franchise and a sport, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that just tells you how much money baseball still brings in, and there's a significant amount of the population that doesn't play. You're either white or Hispanic.
Right.
You
But
know,
the Milwaukee Brewers wouldn't be able to offer this guy the same type of a contract. It's the teams in LA, the teams in New York, and maybe the San Francisco Giants, the
No,
big
you're right.
market teams.
Okay, yeah. So market matters. Which market?
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's true.
Just to note, any take on why we have fewer and fewer black players in baseball now?
And you know what? They study it, man. I just think that baseball is not. First of all, if you're looking for guys who are not in the suburbs already, if you're an inner city guy, you're not playing baseball. There's no place to play, right? Well, but that was before. Listen, I mean, I'm just saying the demographics, the neighborhoods, and all that stuff. And let me just tell you, when I was younger, and you found a field big enough to play baseball on, or any kind of softball, you were lucky if you weren't stepping over glass every 5 feet or whatever, because they didn't cultivate no fields like that, right? So if you ain't in a suburb where they will cut out a nice little field and all that shit, where you gonna play?
I see.
Yeah, so that's my take on it. Basketball, you don't even need anybody. You can just take your ball and go to any place where there's a hoop. You don't have to even put those, there's basketball courts all over the place, and all you need is a couple of fellas to play. And so indoor, outdoor, anywhere, right? And football is another one. How they do it with football, you could play, you could throw the ball to you, and you don't necessarily need a field. You just need a space where you can just throw the ball. We used to play on the block all the time. And then if you were any good, you get to high school and stuff like that. But football was similar. But you didn't need a grass field. There's sometimes if nobody was on a basketball court, you just set up your goals and you just play football. You can at least throw that around. But baseball, man, you're talking about how many plus, what's that, 18 people to play?
I think it's 9. Yeah, 9. It's 9 games.
So it mostly has to be organized, pretty much. It mostly has to be organized. Yeah. Anyhow, but that's my theory. And plus, the other thing is the money doesn't come like football or basketball.
Okay. That could be
not early on. The money just doesn't come that way.
Yeah, you're spending time in the minor leagues, the first couple of years, and most people can't wait, for the money.
That's right. So that's another part. Well, that's all right. But even if we had more brothers playing baseball, I probably still wouldn't watch. I just can't. I need more. I need more scoring. I need more everything. Maybe maybe the playoffs. But okay, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Marcellus Wiley.
Yeah,
he used to be a broadcaster. He was a broadcaster for ESPN. He's a sports guy. He has a minor name. He's not a Stephen A. Smith or anything like that, but he's been on FS1. He's been on a lot of stuff. So he got caught up in this New York City thing when this lady from 100 years ago said he, did some things to her, and he pretty much is countersuing her. And I think that he's going to be one of the guys who escapes unscathed because he already discredited her. For the money grab. And so he had a conversation with this guy who does a sports podcast. Excuse me. And he was going through it. So he's, so I just threw that in there as a miscellaneous. So he's one of the guys who might escape, like unlike P. Diddy, I heard the FBI raided his house or something.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going down, man. Because he's also implicated in the Tupac thing somehow, I think. You know, somebody's trying to point a finger that he might have had something to do with it.
That's crazy, man.
I don't necessarily agree with that, by the way, but we'll see. And anything else? Anybody? I mean, that's just something I do in there. And by the way, my high school, Cardinal Hayes High School in the Bronx, won the high school football championship this year. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. You know, not that I watched any of the games.
And so tell me, does Cardinal Hayes, they got a field in the back of the high school, or where do they play?
They found a place to play. You know what? They had a practice field back there, but they never played no games back there. So I don't know where their home. You know, they might have. I think they played at Fordham University.
Okay, yeah.
You know, they might have been able to use their field. As a matter of fact, I'm sure of it. They use their field once in a while because Fordham is close. And they won. Hey man, Cardinal Hayes was right across the street from a big park too. You know, that was my school, man. Well, way back when. I haven't been back there. Every so often I throw them a few bucks. You know, hey man, fellas, I appreciate you guys coming around, man. Listen, tell me something. I mean, is it too many items on the list? I don't know. I think we got through it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you have a lot. I would shrink it down a little bit if I were you.
Well, you know what? We still went through it in less than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yes, 8:14. Yeah, that's true.
You know,
So my thing. Go ahead, Randy.
The multitude of items helps me in a way because I'd say maybe 25% of them I was unaware of what's going on. So, you know, I learned something, you know, quick hitters. So
yeah, I like the quick hitter format with a lot of items, but I tried. It took me maybe around 3 or 4 days to come up with different things, some suggestions. Like when you gave me that tier list, Charles, and that was good because I was going to talk basketball anyway, so that kind of solidified that. And one of the things that I guess my job would be to facilitate so we don't get hung up on any one thing.
Yeah,
and you know, so depending on how many people are up and giving people a chance to speak and stuff like that, you know, I want to be fair there. But you know, I don't mind the big list myself as long as we can manage it. And I wanted to keep this under, you know, definitely not 2 hours, but I think we went through the list pretty fast. If it was something that we could hit and move on, you know, just took like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But you know, your suggestion is well taken, you know.
Sure.
You know, so I guess my next goal is to see what I'm gonna come up with next week. I'm gonna have to start watching sports. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so every so often I'll throw some clips up there or something like that. You know, I gotta minimize that because I gotta, you know, go down and back up and all this other stuff. And the only thing I would say, and I appreciate you guys coming up, but if y'all get some avatars for your thing instead of seeing these circles, you can put a picture there or whatever, you know, or go live, you know, so that'll help out the quality of the broadcast, even if it's just a picture of whatever you want to put up or go live.
All right.
You know, so you know, the next one, you know, is a week from now. So I'm gonna just try to keep it. Whoever can make it, fine. You know, because I'm prepared to kind of rattle off, and that's one of the things I might have to do if I don't have anybody up. You know, I'm gonna have to just speak through these things on my own. Like, there's a lot of podcasts like that where you just kind of rattle off at the jibs and shit, you know, with no guests. And I'm sure that would be those podcasts will be a lot shorter, right? Because I'll be talking pretty much to myself. But you know, so I would expect to get maybe better music. I'm looking into like getting copyright permission on some music that I like, and there's a lot of stuff out there. And so the intro could be, you know, recognizable music. But right now I'm using this music that comes with StreamYard, so the copyrights there's no copyright infringements and that kind of stuff. So, you know, any suggestions? But this is good, man. I appreciate you fellas coming up. And
no problem, man.
Just chop it up, man.
That's good stuff.
I appreciate it, man. So, go ahead. Any last words?
No, just keep it up. Keep it up.
I appreciate it. Okay, Charles, from you. All right, man. Yeah,
Have a
man.
good night.
You guys have a
All right,
good,
fellas.
yeah, good evening, man.
Take care,
All right.
guys.
You could just click that red button. Rich
Yeah.
Payne, marriage. Go ahead. You gonna say something?
You too.
Oh, you broke up. Anyway, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out. See you next time on the swivel at the sports bar.
Later.